I hear the voice of fate, speaking my name in humble supplication. I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verirrt. I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
I created another universe and founded paradise, for I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin der Verirrt.
Good num morning. Slightly later stream than I usually start, but I was busy this morning. But I wanted to get this done. I wanted to get this event finished because we kind of ended up leaving it hanging. We did 7 hours straight yesterday, and we still weren't finished. So I'm hoping that, you know, today we should only have Mona's to do and we should be done. For the record, I said this at the end of the last stream, I love this event. I think this event is phenomenal so far. I think it's one of the best, if not the best event we've ever had in this game. And this is coming from someone who's been here since 1.0. Because it's character depth. There's character growth, there's character depth, there's this sick as fuck costume for Fischl, because I did go find another conch. It was in Xinjiang's. There's, you can re-access all the domains. Actually, I can quickly show you before we move on. You can re-access all of those domains. If you go over to this, these here are all of Kazuha's domains. And you can see like there's undiscovered chests. I missed chests in all of them. I know I missed one, I didn't realize I missed that many. But it also tells you how many conches you missed. When I went to Xinjiang's, it said missing one, and it was like on the climb on the inside you could find an extra passage that led to a different obstacle course that was like not necessary for the plot that gave you a conch cell. Also, if you're wondering why, whoops, this is what Mona originally looked like. If you're wondering why I bring up, you know, the fact that her design changed, this is what she used to. This is her like OG proper design that they sort of half censored. But I thought I wanted to at least start with this party so I could show off that I have picked up the Fischl skin before we go back to the main priority. If we get this done super quick, I might transition to Castlevania since we don't have too much of that either, but we'll just see how it goes. It is still quite hot. We are on the other side of the worst of the heat wave. Today the temperature's dropped by about 10 straight degrees, making it far more manageable, but still.
We've arrived at the Mirage. Okay, let's find the entrance first.
Okay.
Is that it? Over there?
And because there's not too much left, we can kind of chill out a bit more. It's like at the end of the last stream, I was rushing a little bit because I was time conscious of things I needed to do in the afternoon. I wasn't expecting it to take as long as it would, so I hadn't planned on it. It's not like sometimes with some of my streams, I am absolutely planned and prepared for a long one before I go in. No, I wasn't expecting it to be as long as it was. I was expecting it to be like 3 to 4 hours, not 7 and still not done. You know? And for that side quest at Fischl's, it is exactly what I feared it would be. It goes through a play very fucking agonizingly slowly for the record, and every now and then it will prompt you with an instruction and you have to fulfill it by like moving pieces and whatnot. It's very time consuming and not that interesting, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm glad I decided not to do that on stream. Anyway, let's find out what's in Mona's. Oh, yeah, that looks very Mona.
Huh. This looks like some kind of pool.
We're not gonna have to swim to get in, are we?
Huh? Wait, do we have a non-swimmer among us?
Among us?
No, I don't think that's the real problem here.
Someone's scared, huh? Well then, I'll go first.
And there she goes. She's gonna show off her oh-so-perfect swimming skills now.
Wow, official. Wow, I like how official's still continuing to drop the Toonie routine. Now she's had some character growth.
Please be mindful of your wording, main Fräulein.
Oh, right.
See you later.
Whoa! Mona dived right into the pool and disappeared. Let's catch up with her.
I like how official's being more not like natural with the gang. Now we know all her secrets. Oh wow, yeah, this is very Mona.
What a spectacular structure.
Wow. I've never seen anything like this. Hey, Mona, your mirage is amazing.
Though it falls short of the glorious Immunokreich, one must admit that it is an impressive realm nonetheless, Lady Magistus.
At least it's not showing me getting lectured by the old hag. Thank goodness. Well, what else would you expect of a genius astrologist's mirage? Okay, let's get started.
There's a lot to interact with, I can already see. Look. 2, 4. There's the door. Oh, I bet we're going to interact with these, and they're going to open up each of the different paths. Right? Yeah, there's stuff we can pick up here. You just picked up a shard. The projection platform on the Star Shadow lamp has 2 slots where Asterum shards can be placed and projected. You need to collect various Asterum shards to use the Star Shadow lamp. Each Asterum shard is inscribed with a different astronomical pattern. The Star Shadow lamp will project the astronomical pattern from the Asterum shard onto the dome. Look out for the information hidden in the surrounding area and project an image of the appropriate Asterium shards to solve the puzzles. It means on the doors, I assume, right? Just before, at least for this tutorial piece. Okay, and then we'll get more pieces and figure out another door. Got it, okay. Whoa. The game's like, hey, look, bitch. When the star guide is attacked, it will shoot rays of light towards a specific direction and link up with other star guides. When you get close to it, you can change the direction. Okay. Oh, I get it. We gotta make that image. Yeah, okay, I get it.
There's a star over there. And now it's gone. Let's follow it.
Now we've got another shard, so it's going to add more layers to it for the next room. I understand. Is this going to circle around upstairs? No, it just wants us to follow it back to the main room. I am... Okay, you stay there. I'm going to go check out up here. There's something up here. There is, but not yet. Oh, the music. I recognize this track.
It's made its way inside.
Oh, Jesus, you can enter this? I can't sprint. Interesting.
I've always been very proud of my talent in astrology. What in the... Is that my voice? I believe that astrology is a valuable discipline and that it is capable of revealing the inner workings of this universe. Oh, that's me talking to my... When people discovered I could perform divination, they began to bombard me with inquiries. When is my missing son going to be found? Do they love me or not? Will I ever recover?
This is so cool. Oh my god. Once again, why is this a timed event? Why the fuck is this limited content that people won't be able to experience later on?
I told them exactly what I saw through the scry glass.
And I bet some people didn't like what they heard.
Though honesty may bring about resentment.
Yep.
I couldn't lie in the face of such a noble art.
This is where like the secret was going to be that Mona has the most tragic one, and we all thought Fischl was going to have the most tragic one.
Astrology is a scam.
Yeah, and people who didn't like it started shouting everything.
That's insane.
And you see the walls closing in. Look, yeah.
Can you please leave me alone now? I need some space.
Yeah. Oh god, she gets more and more. This is her mind. She gets getting more and more claustrophobic to everything. I'm stuck. God. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I got stuck on the door. I think the door raised. I touched it too soon.
It felt as if I was being stabbed with razor-sharp knives formed by their disappointment.
Whoa!
I could see the future, yet I felt miserable. As if I'd fallen into an abyss.
What the fuck? Ooh, oh, okay, so you just don't get hit. Mona's moving way quicker than she normally does. I think it's because she can't sprint or jump. Okay, I can do this. This is crazy. Uh-oh. Oh my god.
Lady Magistus, this is heartbreaking.
Please don't try to comfort me. It'll only make me feel embarrassed.
Come on, you don't need to pretend in front of us. You need a hug.
Xin Yang.
No, that was really how I felt back when I first started out in astrology, but I've matured now. I'm no longer so easily swayed by random people's opinions. Who would have thought? Even Magistus, the court archmage, was not spared of vexatious times in her career.
It must have been difficult to be misunderstood by others. I'm glad that you were able to move past that.
I don't think she was.
Actually, there are many who have given up astrology due to similar circumstances. But I am a genius, so it's only fair that I'm able to accomplish what others cannot.
It's pretty inspiring to hear you say all that in an amazing place like this.
You're definitely a genius.
Good. Keep going.
Mona. Don't yes, please matter me more.
Sorry to interrupt, but the door is that way.
All right. I'll let you shower me with praise after all the mysteries are solved.
I bet it's going to take us all the way back and then we have to open up the next door, right? thing is, I'm still kind of used to Mona being on the main team, even after so long, that when that sequence started and I was playing as Mona, I genuinely didn't question it for a second. It's why it took me a second before I went, oh, I can't sprint. Like, when I said, oh, I can't sprint, I hadn't even, like, registered I was playing as Mona yet. You know, like, I hadn't even, like, it hadn't even crossed my mind at that point. It's the reason why I shut up, like, a second afterwards, is because I realised, I went, oh, no, this is important. I'm so used to having Mona in the team, I didn't bat an eye, even though she hasn't been in the main team for so long.
The area appears to be the mountains of Mondstadt. Wait, have we been sent back to Mondstadt?
Yet the boundless ocean still surrounds us.
There should be another pool around here for us to enter.
Over here, y'all!
Y'all? Oh, right there. Oh, and it's telling us where we need to be looking.
Huh? Why isn't it letting us enter?
Oh, something seems to be floating on the water there.
Is it a painting? Or what is it?
It seems to be hinting at a specific place.
It is anticipating that the Prinzessin would guide her loyal followers to the location that has been chosen by fate.
Why is it always you that has to take the lead? Whatever, doesn't matter. Let's just find this place first.
Observe the image reflecting the pool water to find... I wish I could see what... Can I stand on this? What this was clearer. Because, like, is it referring to that? In which case... Looking for, like, 3 rocks. I mean, we can get this chest while we're here. Oh, is it referring to those rocks there?
Gotcha. Take it easy. Quietly now. Shine down! Absurd!
Or is it referring to that?
Busted.
I doubt it, that looks too hot, that looks too tall.
Easy money.
Yeah, because you can see it goes over the edge there, so it's not that high of a mountain.
Take it easy.
Oh, okay. I realised that the game kind of told you. I didn't really realize. I was trying to solve it the old-fashioned way. It's only as I got there, I was like, hang on, there's an objective marker on it. It kind of tells you. I was trying to actually solve it the old-fashioned way. And now it will let us in, right? Now we can build the next thing. No, that won't work. We're missing a piece. Oh my! Oh, this one we have the upper piece for. That should do it? Yeah, okay. And I love the puzzle solving. I genuinely love the puzzle solving. I've seen a few people be a bit like and ahhing about it, like they think it shouldn't be this complicated. But I want them to get complicated. I want Sumeru to really make us stop and think a whole bunch of times. I can't stress that enough. Oh, okay. There's one point that's super far away, and then a bunch of other shit going on. So you... Oh, I didn't even spot you way over the fuck there. You're the big laser. You're the tip. Got it.
Take it easy.
We're going to be here for a bit. I'm glad I decided to do this on a separate stream. We're going to be here for a bit while I figure it out. No, I wanted that to point at this, but I don't think it can. It only goes diagonal, isn't it? Yeah, it goes past it. Okay. So this is the square. Oh wow, that just shoots. Okay. That only has those spots. Okay. There you go. Oh, so it's not a square. This one goes lower, but there's another point that's kind of sticking out slightly. So this one. So this aims... Is it for that one, or is it the next one? Firstly, you're aiming at the wrong one. You need to be there. You aim for that one. No? You can't? Okay. So you aim straight down at you. You shoot all the way along this back. Hang on. What's that? That one's shoot. That one doesn't shoot all the way over to there, does it? No, this one is definitely shooting at that one. But that one goes underneath it. And that one's there. So I'll figure it out.
Take it easy.
But this is what I mean. I'm enjoying figuring this out. I'm enjoying having to look at it and be like, okay, this goes here maybe, this goes there maybe. Someone does the long shoot over to this, which is that corner. That one shoots straight along to that one. That one's aiming there. This one zigzags back on itself and goes... Oh, it can't. Okay. Well, that one's being aimed at. That one is aiming for this one. And this one, I think we just need to swivel to there. No, we're missing a piece. Oh, okay. Took us a bit, but we got there.
There's another star. Let's follow it.
Okay, and that's not even the... Okay, that took a bit. That one was... I like that one, though. I like the fact that I had to take some time and spend on it. That's what I mean. I want puzzles in Samara to be like that. Because it's a nice breakup from, you know, just beat up enemies, experience the next thing. You have to actually stop and go like, okay, this is this is that is this. Like, I want them to be like that moving forward. I want that sort, because it's a great alternate to the puzzle solving, to the gameplay, instead of it just fighting enemies. But let's see what we learn now about Mona, presumably. Yeah.
Astrology reveals the truth unreservedly, but not everyone is willing to accept their
There's
fate.
invisible walls everywhere. That's why the camera's doing things.
Is part of practicing the craft. I must also become stronger myself in order to convince people.
There's a bunch of invisible walls everywhere. It's why the camera kept on freaking out at the start. They're kind of corridoring you in. You have to follow this thing kind of precisely.
I once met an adventurer on a mountain who also happened to be picking fruits. He was even kind enough to share some with me.
Aww.
So in return, I agreed to perform a divination for him. The results were terrifying. I advised him to give up adventuring as soon as possible. Otherwise, he could meet his end within the next 2 years.
And what happened? Oh my god. Is that telling us what the maze is? That is.
He fell silent for a while. Surprisingly, he didn't doubt the results of my divination like others had. But he looked quite perplexed. Even so, I have to keep going. Adventurers can't just give up in the face of hardship. With that, he picked up his pack and headed for the peak.
Whoa, 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 what the fuck? Okay, no, I did find the way forward. I was trying to... Is there something over... here? Or is the maze turned off now we've done it? The maze is turned off. Literally, you know me, like, why have all this extra on the side? Other than just confuse you.
However, try as I might, I could never forget that incident. Why is that?
Uh-oh. I'm gonna get kicked out again.
Oh, we're back again.
So, Mona, is that adventurer dead now?
That was the only time I ever saw him. And that was more than 3 years ago, which means he's no longer alive.
But isn't there still a chance that he's alive? You know, like maybe you just made a mistake.
That's not fair.
You can't call it divination if you reject anything bad and believe the good unreservedly. That's just self-deception. Of course, casually performing divination for fun might be a different matter, but in my field of expertise, there's no room for lies. To contradict my own reading would be a blasphemy against astrology.
Cruel, but truthful. Such is fate.
I don't usually say things like this, but while we're on the topic, I really hope you don't confuse astrology with those fortune stick peddlers that you see along the streets. Astrology does not exist to please. We astrologists are here to verify and witness the truths of this world. Ugh. Which is why astrology is a disdained profession. It is a mighty art, but
it still bothers her. She's tried to play it off as like, oh, I haven't let it bother me. You know, look at it, listen. This sentence alone, it pisses her the fuck off that it's still disdained.
Why dost thou protest so much, Lady Magistus? Thou seems not to be the sort with whom one would be loath to be associated.
What Mein Fräulein means is that she's glad to be friends with you.
No, that's not exactly what I said. Whatever has gotten into you, Oz, you misinterpret my utterances with increasingly alarming frequency.
Oh my, why could that be?
Oz!
I'm concerned that Mein Fräulein could offend her friends and have been attempting to soften her words.
Although you're the only astrologist I know, you've left an awesome impression on me. You're not annoying at all. Those who go snooping around for secrets, yet ignore whatever they don't want to hear,
Yeah.
they're the ones who should reflect on themselves.
Oh, you mean half of Twitter? Got it.
If one could simply avoid fate with just a few words, no one would have to endure the pain of parting. Mona, don't take others' comments to heart. Follow your heart, and never forget what's right.
Oh, I don't need comforting, thank you very much. I'm very tough, you know.
And why are your ears red?
Oh, well then, thank you.
What dost thou say? I offer your highest reverence and blessings to the Prinzessin.
Okay, Your Highness. Instead of making a scene, why don't you go collect the other fragments in the new location reflected by the pool? We can't enter the Mirage without them.
Mein Fräulein, you are the only one with eyes sharp enough to locate the secrets.
I like how Oz is being a little bit cheekier with Fischl, though. Oz isn't just like unapologetically following her. Now, like, everyone knows her secrets, everyone knows it. He's relaxed a lot more.
Let's go, Mona.
Oh, okay. Coming.
We've made quite a group of friends here, though. I love this little tag team. Yep, observe. I'll check it out in a sec. I was like, the game fucking gives it away for you. Now I know it's there. I'll still have a glance. Oh, what's this say? An old stone tablet was described to have been blurred beyond intelligibility. On a foggy day, the phantom haze has obscured ordinary sight, and the hidden scenery be ebbs through obstructing objects. Do I have to wait for it to get foggy? Or something? And then I'll be able to see what I need to hit. Oh, I was like, why have I got an exclamation mark? Okay, in front of that thing. Then we just head over here because the game points it out to you. I thought you had to figure it out yourself, so I didn't even spot the objective marker on the first run. No, the game pretty much gives it away. You just have to... It points you in the general area, then you have to just find it yourself a little.
Take it easy. Quietly now.
So we head back though, let's get this chest, and we can do this one easily. There's a reason why I still keep Geo Traveler and don't use Electro Traveler. It's because Geo Traveler just solves fucking puzzles for you half the time.
Starfall!
Is this an answer from this world?
Stab to beyond intelligibility. As far up as in front of the stone wall and as far down as the banks of the shallow bay, there are a symbol of 4 different elements. From top to bottom, light them up in order. Once this is so the skies will undergo 4 corresponding changes after this certain gate will open. The central gate will open. Okay, so activate these from highest to lowest. Got it. So this will probably spiral around up then. There's the fire one. And there's water. So let's get that one because it's right there. Then it's this one. When I figure out how the fuck I'm getting up there. The tree should do. Actually, I can just do this and then go up around. We're good, we're good. We figured it out.
What a bummer.
Oh, it's starting to rain then. Who's how to say that? That's her rain voice line. Oh, is that because I... Ooh, is that because I hit the water? That it made it rain? It's like, now if I hit this, will the weather change again? Then it's this one, and then the wind ones will have to change at the end.
Crush.
Because I don't have an animo. I genuinely don't have a single animo character maxed out yet. I discovered by shock and surprise it's the only thing I'm missing from the new book. Because they updated the book in 2.8. This. It's the only thing I haven't done. I was like, what? Oh, what? Come on. Oh, there are other wind currents that have come up as well, see? Oh my goodness. Oh, is there not another wind current? I'll take us up that final bit. Got here, Mona. Is this on the map? Yeah, it is. Look at this thing. They really made this island come alive, or this the archipelago come alive in this compared to 1.6. Because in 1.6 it was super interesting when you were there, but it fell into the same trap that like Dragonspine, Enkanomiya, and the Chasm fell into. As once you're done, you never have a reason to go back. Whilst this, there's a lot more just little bits here that just kind of add more.
Take it easy.
Okay, where's the bump? So I'm trying to see which way is up for this thing. Oh, did we ignore this one entirely? Hang on. Wait. Is my positioning wrong? To just be swiveled? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 we just straight up haven't used yet. Because there's one there obviously in the middle, but... Where's this other one we're missing then? Or do we have to interact with the scenery or do something later on first? We might have to do something else, because there's not even 8 things here. So we can check this, just see if there's anything we can interact with that might give us the last pieces. Yeah, we can't do this yet. That'll probably give us what we need. Okay. Which is why it's such a fancy chest. It's a higher quality chest. It's like, no, you need something first. You need to come back later.
Huh. We've returned here once more.
Looks like the story's not finished yet. Let the adventure continue.
Okay. So we've done the front 2, so now it's just the back 2 that we need to do. Can we do this yet? No, we don't have anything that goes across the bottom. Well, so we can take this one out, so we can at least have the more pieces. I want it to be on screen. There we go. So I want to be able to see it. That's the top bit. And I think that's the bottom bit. Yes. Alright, let's see what nightmare difficulty puzzle this one's going to be. So that last one took me a minute to figure it out. It took me about 5. Oh my, there's a lot more in this one. Where's the solution piece hiding? Okay. I'm going to screenshot that just so I can reference it easier without having to keep on going back to it. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm literally looking at the screenshot right now. We're kind of making like a big R shape almost. This is so scattered, oh god. Let's start putting some lasers on just so we can sort of see where we're going. Let me have a look again. We need to identify where the middle piece is, where the square is supposed to be. Because there's a square in the middle. I need to identify where that is on this. Can we make a pentagon? With 5 of them. That's what kind of where we need to start. Kinda, with these ones? Hang on. A pentagon with nothing else past it in the corner. And is there anything coming out of the top of it? A pentagon with literally nothing around the top of it, okay. Can this reach this one? Okay. Oh, that's not where the pentagon is then. Okay, because I need it to drop down the side as well. So if we treat that as the top instead, then. Sorry, I know it's you can't get this. You can't see my camera screen that I'm using for this, but we'll figure it out. It'll make sense once it's done. That goes down. This should be able to continue going down to another one. Good. This one should... Fuck, it doesn't. That's not where the pentagon is then. Fuck. Because that needs to go... That needs to break off a different direction. So that can't be where the top is. Damn it. Can this one face this little bit? Hang on, let me turn it on so we can actually see what it's looking at. Okay. Back to the screenshot. What if I'm just looking at it from the wrong position? The way to solve these kind of puzzles is to assume a corner, play it out, and if it doesn't work, assume a different corner, and keep on doing it until it starts to make what you need. That's literally what I'm doing here. I'm just assuming corners, and then when they don't work out, I just move to another one. Oh, we got it, we've got it. I figured it out. Got ya. Yep. Right, to show you what I mean, can you see what I kind of meant about like the R-esque shape? Where like this, you kind of see it's like the end, the top of the capital R has been broken off. That's what I was working with. So we had to build this, but if I go over here, my screenshot was based off that. So it's like through here, you can see what I mean. Like there's the R, it's just broken off on the end. So I was, and those 5 pieces there, these 5 were the pentagon I was referring to. Can you sort of see like how I was trying to planning it? And I was literally, first I was trying to find that one, which my targeter is dead on. But then when that wasn't working, I started trying to find this. When that didn't work, I tried to find this, and this is what I found, and I built it off that. So that's what you do. You just pick a block, and you try and find it, and if you can't, move on to the next one. Okay, and there's the butt layer, so that one will make the last one. That one wasn't too bad. If anything, that one felt more complicated at first glance because these pieces are all closer together. But once you kind of could see it, it wasn't that bad. I actually think the one we did last time was harder. I think that one really wasn't that challenging. It's just you had to be logical about it. You had to kind of, do the old-fashioned, just find a corner, try out all your options, and if it doesn't work, pick a different corner, try it again until things start to flow. So the last one will be that, which we have the pieces for the record.
Take it easy.
Which I will take them now. I say that, I don't think you need to take them out. I think you can open every single one of these doors.
It's stuck by the water, but didn't go in. Seems almost like it's...
Waiting for something, got it. Oh, whoops, I didn't even put it in. So can we have all of these doors open at once then? Is that... Because I thought we might re-need those pieces, but is it not going to be that vicious? Oh no, you do need a re-need an old piece for one of them. You need it for the roof of the other one. Okay.
Take it easy.
Yeah, you need that roof piece there. It's the same as the bottom piece. Got it. So, so I wasn't making it harder for myself. You have to actually do that. Oh God. Right, if we can establish where that wide, the two furthest away pieces are effectively, which I think are these two. Do these link at the bottom? They do, so one needs to go that way. And do these link at the top as well, or do they just point up? They just point, okay. And then all of these need to point at that top one. Boom. That's the easiest one.
Oh, there's another star here.
Oh, and we get another. Okay, so now we can have.
For this one?
Now we got another one of those shards. We can have every single door open. We got the double up we needed, so we can now have every single door open and see what that does. Also, I want to see what's up here first. Every single one of these areas seems to have like a big door at the end that we can't access. Oh my God. So now this one is only for loot, so if you're up for the challenge kind of thing. This is a 3x3 grid, so if we can find this, what we need to make, it'll be easy enough.
Take it easy.
Assuming finding what we need to make is the thing we're missing, and it's not something else. I'm kind of curious why that star stopped there. Like, why make me follow it and then stop there? And I don't think we can climb these walls, no. So we can't get to it easily. This one doesn't move. Neither of these move. Oh, so that just makes the bridge. Okay, what's the point of these ones then? Oh, okay, I see. You're building your path up, I see. Got it. I mean, that's not probably how we're supposed to do it, but that's how I did it. You're supposed to build the path. Okay, we weren't looking for a solution. And I doubt that's even the intended solution. I just kind of magooed it and got lucky enough to get up there. Nice. How do I get you? How... How do I get you? Uh-oh. It's only a common chest. I was like, for a second I thought it was a luxurious, and I was like, what the fuck? But no, it's only a common, but still, how do I get to that? Let's get down. There's probably a shit ton of extra rewards and secrets you can find if you like alter the stars in certain positions. I imagine like we're gonna get out of here, and it's gonna be like you've missed like 30 chests.
Take it easy.
I'm expecting there to be like a lot of little secrets if you like put things in certain ways or find certain other hints to like build the light puzzles in certain situations, etc. But now we can open up all of these. Let's do that. Just like. As I think we can with the pieces we have. Yeah, because we can now have all the doors open, which just gives us a little bit more breathing room, a little bit more relaxation. Oh, you're there. I was going to say, strange star, please. These two are waiting for each other, just so it's the same whole 3 cycles. Alright, let's see how this ends, Mona. Whoa! Oh, so they all down here? Or was it just these two that opened it? Oh, I thought I'd see like the 3rd and 4th one here as well. Oh, and this is her house, isn't it?
Oh, wait, how the...
This is her home in Mondstadt, isn't it?
Another house in Mondstadt?
Her house.
What are we doing in my house? Your house? This is your house?
My, how unexpected. I heard Lady Magistus lived a modest life, but this abode...
Look at the labels on these books on the ground. Only one of its kind? 990,000 mora? Hey, that's super expensive!
There are so many expensive-looking hardcovers over here.
Mona! This is why you struggle to pay when you make the jokes that you're poor. Because anytime you get money, you burn it on this shit.
The rooms are exquisitely designed. This place must be very expensive.
It was my misconception this whole time.
Hey, I'm just occasionally out of mora, that's all. I never said I was a pauper.
I wonder if this is to challenge it, because in the Mona story quest, they made out that she was like flat fucking broke at all times and that was why she couldn't pay rent. And I wonder if this is here to kind of correct it. It's like, no, she's just a impulse buyer and that's why she always seems to be broke.
You're not? Oh, so what about those times I treated you to meals and had you over to my place for dinner?
Aw, they go to each other's place for food?
Mein Fräulein, mind your phrasing.
Thou wert blessed with the coveted opportunity to enter the palace of the Immanok Reich and meet with the Kaiser and Kaiserin der Verurteilung. Or hast thou conveniently forgotten this magnificent occasion?
Oh, yes! The stew and cold cuts your mother made were heavenly. I could go for some more of that right now.
Lady Magistus, this is not the time for such things.
Is that Mondstadt cuisine? I want to try some. I heard Mondstadt has lots of local delicacies.
And Fisher was like, I thought you were broke. I treated you to food.
Then I shall extend to you the honor of meeting the Kaiser and Kaiserin with me on a future occasion.
Oh, official's like, fine, you can meet Mum and Dad one day.
Really? Hey, we should go too!
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I visited a friend's house. I shall gladly oblige. Oh, but shouldn't we bring some sort of gift?
Those two are very kind and understanding, so please, don't worry about that. Just bring yourselves.
You seriously have to try her mom's cold cut platter. It's a specialty or something. Anyway, it's simply delightful.
Not to interrupt, but perhaps we should start working on the puzzle at hand? Ever since I entered this place, I have found myself most preoccupied with that ornament.
Oh, right.
Can I go explore her house? Hey, I'm gonna do that first. Man, she's got 2 sofas. She's got like fruit bowls. I was trying to zoom in. There we go. What's this painting on the side? Oh, it's just a okay. It's just a picture of a windmill. And that's the front door. So yeah, this is the. Well, maybe actually that doesn't make sense for it to be the front door. 'Cause I know where her house is. Like, you know, the mapping of this isn't whatever. It's a very linear house with way too many goddamn books. Oh, now what we're going to learn. What other secrets and regrets do you have, Mona?
Astrologists are able to understand the most complex signs among the stars. And because of this, they are not allowed to show any arrogance. If one believes that astrology grants them unlimited power, they will face banishment by the stars. In the past, I was ignorant enough to think that I understood all fates in the universe. Maybe it was some form of punishment. But I became lost. I couldn't see the stars any longer.
Everyone's gone through some shit. It's like, of all the 4 people they chose to come together for this, I think they picked the perfect like collection.
Confused one day, not even astrology will be able to help you then. That's what the old hag said. We astrologists can't predict our own fate. But today, those words seem to carry a different meaning.
Going backwards? Why am I following the star backwards? Ooh. Okay.
I understand now that people won't always follow a beacon's guiding light. Even though the way forward may be dark and dangerous, they will still resolutely forge ahead. Fate is called such precisely because it cannot be altered.
Yay, it's an idol line, or one of her idol lines. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, there's gotta be something underneath us, right?
I understand the governing laws of the universe, and have glimpsed secrets between heaven and earth. Observing it is enough for me. There's no need to force it
To change.
There are no perfect legends, and
I need to keep walking more when they're talking so we don't interrupt Mona.
instead of dwelling on my helplessness, what I should do is seize my own destiny.
Ooh.
What a magnificent view!
Lady Magistus, I believe this is the firmest evidence yet of your immense genius. You truly are the greatest archmage in the history of the Immunakreich.
Thank you. Although the Immunakreich really doesn't have that much of a history.
Stars like diamonds and the moon like a pearl. This is the most brilliant night sky I've ever beheld.
It's beautiful. To call up such a mirage, Mona must have a vast and boundless sea of stars in her heart.
You don't seem so sure. Mona, what's the matter?
Oh, I'm just thinking. These must be the things that we aspire to. This night sky is incredibly beautiful. In fact, I might go so far as to say it's even more beautiful than what I usually see in divinations. All the stars are in their rightful place. This is definitely my mirage. Only here can I see extraordinary sights like these.
Extraordinary? Why do you say that?
You know, the night sky of Tevat is truly marvelous. All the answers in the world seem to have been hidden within. When is my missing son going to be found? Do they love me or not? Will I ever recover? As your stars move across the sky, they record all your life events in their path. And among all the people in the world, a considerable number will see their stars deviate from their path. When your stars are on track, it means you will be healthy, happy, and at peace. Conversely, if your stars go off track, everything will get worse. The starry sky in my divinations would never look as perfect as this. Some stars would lose their way.
Yeah, she said in her mirage, what she wants. This is what she wants to see, to be able to do all divinations and everything be perfect. To know that everyone will get what they want, that everyone will be happy. So you're saying, but this isn't how it ever is. There's always going to be like people who are struggling, or people who are going to have bad luck, or people who are going to have horrible things happen to them or do horrible things. There's always going to be stars that don't follow their path in her terms, in that terminology.
I wish everyone could be happy and stay on track. To this end, I offer advice and tell the truth. I know it's useless. All fates are already revealed in the night sky, with mine too. Just another among them. I can't change anything, even so. Outside of astrology, outside of the words of truth, I still cling to the wisp of an irrational fantasy. We must all live within the confines of reality, but... call me presumptuous, but I still believe in miracles. In this vast sea of stars, there are stars for you, for me, for everybody. What are the chances of one star encountering another? Are these encounters not the most wonderful miracles in all of destiny? I don't know, but within Tevat, the stars in the sky will always have a place for us. Even if astrology is resolutely rational, fate remains arbitrary, cruel, but romantic.
Mona, you seem to have been deep in thought. Have you found the answer?
I think I have figured out what those stars are hiding. Now I will seize my own destiny.
Seize destiny! Fuck, that's an objective marker and a half. That was an objective description and a half, damn.
There was a transparent bird made of crystal. It was beautiful and fragile and could sing the most beautiful songs. But since mortals couldn't see it, they believed it to be a trick. How could a transparent bird possibly exist, let alone sing? When the bird heard that, it flapped its wings and flew across mountains and seas all the way to the night sky, where it turned into a star. Its brilliance was so dazzling that it illuminated everyone. It allowed all those that could see it to follow its light through the dark night, to sail through the seas under the guidance of the stars. It was born in wisdom, but trapped in ignorance. It has never voiced a complaint, for this is its destiny. Guiding people to see their destinies is the very meaning of its existence.
We're back here again!
Every single one of those 4 cutscenes, like whether it's the Kazuha's end piece, you know, Xingyang's, Fischl, and Mona's, all of them have been so magical, you know? Like, Kazuha's, it's like an acceptance of his past, an acceptance of who he is, and moving forward. Xingyang, it's showing why she does what she does. You even see her let her hair down and finally get to play out her melody with the unexpected, to play with the mountain. Fischl is pure Fischl, but now with the newfound confidence of her accepting who she is, and accepting her past, accepting her depression and her anxieties, to be the best version of herself. And then Mona's being that story of the stars. Like, they're all so well done. It's genuinely insane the workload Holoverse puts on themselves when they really didn't have to. Think about this for a second, right? We had this whole event, you know, with all these cutscenes, all these story beats, all of these unique domains, all of these really enjoyable unique puzzles and whatnot. But at the same time, they are working on, you know, the Dendro element and all its new characters that are going to be with it, a whole new country that's going to be added to the game in the very next patch, and they also found the time to make that full big animated rendezvous cutscene with all the other Harbingers, introducing them all, hiring an entire, you know, voice cast for every single one of them, and all of that. On top of, you know, the music team and what they're doing for everything, in terms of the location designers, the art designers, the story writers, to make sure they're on top of it all. The level of excess work they have put on themselves, they could have just made this a simple holiday event similar to what it was in 1.6. They could have not done the Harbinger scene and just put all of their resources and made this kind of small and put all of their resources into Sumeru and Dendro. You know? There's so much excess extra work they have done with this event, with the stuff that's come out around this time, that they didn't need to do, but they did anyway. A lot of people joke about how Honkai is their, you know, their favorite child, and they don't love Genshin as much as they do Honkai. But if that was true, they wouldn't have done all this. They would have just worked on 3.0, throughout 3.0, and went, yeah, okay, see in 3.1. You know, they wouldn't have gone this hard on shit to do in 2.8. They wouldn't have gone this hard with, you know, the chasm and all the plot events happening there, with all the character trade-off and how Zhao went on. They wouldn't have done so goddamn much. They've gone so much extra of all of this, so they didn't love this. You know? They didn't need to put all this extra effort. They could have made this like an easy throwaway 2 hours and you're done thing, sort of like how the first Golden Isle archipelago was. But they didn't. They went so extra with it on this time around to make it feel like you weren't just returning here, but there was going on another adventure involving these characters. And used it as an opportunity to further explore all of them. Mona hasn't been touched since her story quest in 1.0. Kazuha's story felt like it's always been kind of danced around up until now. Xingyang straight up's never got a story quest, neither's Fischl. And yet they finally got like this proper developed, like full force of them, you know? We've got so much more from them now. Just please, for the love of God, give Xingyang and Fischl a hangout quest at some point in the future, please.
How strange. My mirage didn't contain any hints on the Fatui or the machine. Does that mean they had nothing to do with these mirages after all? Or perhaps these mirages are a mere consequence and not part of a process at all?
Paimon's lost.
Basically, they might be unrelated.
I mean, these mirages were not steps towards solving the mystery, but rather a direct effect of whatever's going on. Someone did something to bring the mirages into being. As they were just passive side products, it was natural that they couldn't provide us with any useful information.
In other words, those mirages were only about ourselves.
Pure materializations of ourselves. Interesting.
Everyone, maybe we should go back to where this whole thing began. During our first day on the island, the Traveler and I checked out the Fatui camp together. We found a strange machine there, as well as some disoriented Fatui.
This is correct.
The researcher who spoke to us claimed that the machine was just a Fatui industrial invention. He even promised to not disturb us.
Right! And the Cappy Cup guy looked half asleep the entire time. He kept talking nonsense.
I wonder, is it possible that madness and mirages are two different outcomes of the machine's influence? If so, everything can be traced back to that damaged machine. Except for the difference in how it affects people. This, I believe, is caused by differences between the affected people themselves.
Oh, when you put it that way, it is indeed difficult to distinguish dreams and hallucinations. So what you're saying is, the device affected us differently because we are different from the Fatui.
Yes. And
I'm not sure that's the
according to
best
our
message to put
observations over
across.
these
They're
past few
humans
days,
too.
I think
We're different from them.
the difference is that we all have stronger willpower.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what they're going for. They're not trying to just say that the Fatui are different. They're trying to say in this circumstance, their willpower is nowhere near as strong as ours.
Yeah, I can get behind that. People with strong willpower will hallucinate instead of falling into madness. But those who break too easily can't maintain a stable mirage.
In other words, we should go back to the Fatui camp and destroy that machine right away!
No, it should be repaired rather than destroyed.
What Mein Fräulein means is that rashly destroying a machine we do not understand may lead to more serious
Yeah,
consequences.
even Fischl could be smarter about this.
It would be better to find a way to repair it first.
Right. It pays to be cautious.
If my guess is correct, that machine is capable of influencing the human brain. So we'd better tread carefully.
So let's go now! There's no time to waste!
Alright, Paimon, bit of patience. I want to see how much I missed. And I'll do that challenge. Actually, I'll show off this challenge since I didn't yesterday. Act fucking 6. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't do this last time. Where is it? I didn't show it off last time, but we can now see what we missed and do the battle challenge. Right, I missed a conch and 14 chests! Oh. 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 14! Anyway, the way this works, and it's the same in all of them, it's just you fight different enemies, is you go in, you fight a group of enemies, with each one having a slightly different thing you can use. Temple Dome, it states key astral signs. Each of these stars correspond to one of the mechanisms on the ground in the temple. Find the brightest star and activate the mechanism that corresponds to it. You'll perhaps be able to solve the puzzle. We're not just going to do combat. The other ones are just, you just do combat. Yeah, I can see that. Or was it the other way around?
Take it easy.
Oh, no, that's not the right one. It's the other way around. Let's turn all of these off for a sec. Oh, okay, so you don't need to solve the puzzle really at all. You can just run around. But yeah, there's a fucking conch in there. So I told you, that's why I'm not too fussed with getting all 20. I mean, it'd be nice to get the conch, so I can see like a last little glimmer of like what's going on with Mona.
Take it easy.
But it's supposed to be, in the other ones, it's just a combat trial. You just run ahead, trigger the combat thing and do it. It's just each one has a slightly different gimmick with the combat. During combat, activating mechanism that corresponds to bright stars. Oh, so the first one's introducing it. Will give you buffs. You'll either get the Mona effect on enemies, the Mona burst effect. You will get collapsing star's kind of OP. Just touch an opponent, you get killed, and applies Hydra to all characters. Okay.
Gotcha. Quietly now. Gotcha.
And then the second trial is just that you jump straight to the boss instead of having to do all the other fights. You can just go. You can just start right at the end.
Busted.
28 enemies? Oh god, okay, I'm doing my burst now.
Gotcha. Quietly now. Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. Rack and ruin. More speed. Busted. Gotcha. Take it easy. More speed.
I can hear you. There you are.
Busted. Gotcha.
I see. Now, if you exit, you can just do the other version, the quick variant. You can just do this, and it will just take you straight to the boss instead of having to do that the earlier bits. So I will max out that, and then we'll go do Act 6. Because we can now get yourself a free official, which means absolutely fucking nothing for me. Because, I have official maxed out.
Busted.
31 enemies, damn. Okay, so they do buff this one a little bit since you skip right to the end.
Crush. Vengeance will be mine. Eye for an eye. Gotcha.
Beauty of Yelan's skill is that it will catch those enemies anyway. It doesn't matter if they're higher up, you can catch them.
Quietly now.
God damn, the rub up insta kill is insane.
Quietly now.
And this, yep, floods it again.
There is no escape.
Let's make the most out of this fucking vaporized spot just before it vanished. Maybe we'll just change it again so we can max out our points. Because we're at a point now. Ta-da! You see what I mean? Like, we're just short of it. And in the shop, you can just clear this out. Actually, no, I'll wait until we get the last piece. And we'll get the last reward for doing this again anyway.
Busted.
And like I said in the last stream, once we're done with all this and finished with this quest, I am going to go through... Yay! I was hoping for that.
Quietly now.
I am going to see how many primos we actually picked up across this whole event.
Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core.
And how many it translates to. How many fates it will translate to around about. Wait, oh, this is the flooding one. I appreciate it.
Time to go.
So the amount of damage we're getting out of it's insane. So there's only 30, so it's partially randomized then, the enemies in this bit. We had 28, we had 31, and I assume 31 might just be because of, because you jumped to the end, but no, it just seems randomized, because that was 30. Yeah, we got fish or... but if you've never got her before, then there you go. Alright, and that is... Oh, right, I didn't bother with that. In Xinjiang's, you can use like the giant trumpet things to send out little missiles and whatnot. I found them kind of worthless, so I didn't bother. I found it kind of worthless, which is why I never did that. But it's only for the rewards. I'm not that fussed, and I haven't done Fischl's variant either, so I need to go do that. Which, to be fair, since we've got time, it's literally the opposite of yesterday's stream where I was rushing. I might quickly go do that just so we can get the maximum amount. So you can access all of the Amarahike castles of the Hymns of the Holy Land. Yep, you have maxed out, but that's fine. We've got. I think we've done everything we can for it anyway. So this is how the rest are. You just run in and there's things that you fight. The regard will randomly descend upon the keep during combat. Characters will obtain corresponding buffs. Okay, if you just see the glow, step on it. So it's just an easier variant of what we just did. If we see a glow anywhere, step on it, we get buffs.
Quietly now. Shudder.
We get to listen to more of this glorious music.
Rack and ruin. Busted. Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over. Beg for mercy.
That's it? Yeah, you just fight in that room? You don't go waddle around? Oh, okay. At least in the other ones you go waddle. And then we need to do this 2 more times. Which should just be now the final fight instead. So yeah, I'll take that. You.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. There is no escape. Vengeance will be mine. Gotcha. Here comes the catch. Busted.
I kind of wish like Fischl got a longer one, if I'm honest, not just this 1 room and 2 fights and you leave. Just because I love her music, I'm gonna miss these themes more than all the rest when we're done. The Fischl Castle themes, I'm gonna miss them so goddamn much when we're out of here, like when the event's over.
Gotcha.
This shit's so cool. I genuinely, this is probably my favourite event in the game. And this is going from someone who's been around since literally the start, since 1.0. Who experienced, like, the brilliance that was the 1.4 event, and all the characters you interacted with that, and, like, the boredom that was the 1.3 event. Who loved the original 1.6 and thought it was brilliant. Loved Labyrinth Warriors because it had fucking Child in it, just being a menace. And it was also the first, like, time Xinjiang showed up in an event, if I recall. Not you, it's this one. Yeah, my Mona's. Because this is what we got in Xinjiang that I got off stream.
If you ain't got the courage, you can't play a strong tune. And if you don't keep
it real, you won't reach anyone. And it will tell you where it is if you want to go find it again. Right, let's find out what's going on over here. Oh my god. This thing seems to be getting redder and more dangerous.
Hey, look! Isn't that the same guy we saw on our first day here?
He seems worse for wear.
Everyone's gone crazy. Everyone should get out of here. We'll never wake up. But I was right, my precious. You are invincible.
Precious? What's his precious?
A miracle machine. Definitely not impossible.
I think he's referring to that machine.
What a drunkard.
She said it was such like venom. Drunkard.
Oh, goodness. The smell of alcohol. Main Fräulein, please allow me to fan the fumes away with my wings.
Oh, excellent. Please, fan them away from me, too.
Yeah, me as well.
Certainly.
I've checked the surroundings, but there's no one else here. Isn't that strange? The Fatui is a big organization, but he's the only one left at this camp. What's more, we didn't even see him the last time we were here. Even the larger gentleman from the first time is missing. I think they must be hiding somewhere. As for why they may be hiding, I'm afraid we'll have to ask him.
But he's as drunk as tone-deaf Bard. Should we wait for him to sober up?
Cleanse him with the holy spring of punishment.
Kick the shit out of him until he wakes up.
Main Fräulein means to splash him with water.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, sounds like a good idea. Let's try.
Everyone takes out board wars and empties him over the collapsed Fatui. Gotcha.
Hey, he opened his eyes.
Huh?
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah,
are you
don't mind us.
Fatui? Can you tell us what happened here and what that machine is for?
Fatui? Ha! Fatui. Those blockheads from the administration will regret it now. That's what you get for rejecting my research and forcing me to conduct my research on this deserted island. My precious. My precious.
Why is he crying? Looks like he has a lot of pent-up emotions.
Yeah, something.
mocked me and my precious invention. You don't know anything about the future. Only my invention can help us conquer the world.
It's crazy how most of the Fatui don't even like say shit like that about conquer the world. Like the closest they say is in that new trailer where Piero says about we will steal this realm from the gods or something like that.
Idiots.
They don't play the villainy like that strongly usually. They see themselves as in the right more often than not.
Ow! Don't hit me. I won't blow up the lab again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
This man's gone insane. There's no way we can communicate with him.
He wasn't like this when we first met him. It looks like the effects have grown worse, to the point of driving him mad.
My manuscript. My manuscript. Only that can save.
Manuscript? Where is it?
I love how little Fischl is doing her Toonie routine. I love her Toonie routine, don't get me wrong, but I love that now she's with friends and like, you know, they're more open about it with each other. She's being more normal. You know, that she's not forcing herself to be who she isn't, because all that Toonie stuff, she forces that. That's not her naturally. She's being more natural.
Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me.
Fischl, don't yell at him.
Then
Let me try.
Yeah, okay, you step down. Good cop, bad cop.
Kind sir, look at me. Now, tell me, where did you hide your manuscript?
Are you relying on your good looks?
No, don't force me to write a report.
Because there's like Mona had learned a little too much from that Raven thing, that Raven situation, that she knows she's like visually attractive, at least according to that stone Raven. So she's trying to rely on it.
He's completely lost in his own imagination.
Allow me.
Let's try a different way.
Please excuse me.
Kazuo stands quite a while and throws the researcher over his shoulder and onto the ground.
Oh! My butt!
Kazuo just fucking yeeted him.
My brain is finally starting to work again. It's not a mushy mess anymore.
Can you tell me where you put the manuscript?
The manuscript. The manuscript is in the crack over there.
Finally! Otherwise, I was gonna have to blast some of my loudest rock and roll in his ears.
Kazuo hesitated for a long time before making a move. He's so nice.
Yeah, he's destined for greatness.
Everyone, let's search the stone cracks nearby for the manuscript.
Like, Kazuo's just performing wrestling moves on the guy, just to get him back into full force.
Take it easy.
I mean, that's where that is.
Found it!
Congratulations! We found the key to solving the problem.
Let me see.
Mona takes the manuscript and studies it carefully.
Just as I thought. This machinery, named cognitive mimicry, is capable of altering the state of people's brains. It was invented by the researcher we met earlier. His name is Persakov. According to the manuscript, the Fatui officials did not support Persakov's research. They believed he had taken the wrong path.
Man, even the Fatuis were like, no.
Persakov insisted on putting his machine to use. In order to achieve that, he disassembled the machine and used his connections to transport the parts to this deserted island.
How did they find this island? The Fatui's intelligence network is not to be underestimated.
Persakov was dead set on carrying out his experiments on this island. Most of his subjects were junior Fatui soldiers who all signed a waiver beforehand. It looks like they really thought this machine would benefit the Fatui.
Oh, clearly.
How does the machine work?
That's most likely top secret. The manuscript didn't reveal any details, but Persakov did mention that the machine was modeled after the power of a god. Does that mean there's a god connected to these dreamlike mirages, and the Fatui found a way to research it?
Clearly. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to reproduce the god's power.
Wait, so there's some sort of mirage Archon?
Anyway,
No, I think it's the voice we heard, who got interrupted our dodo phone, who I still think might be Dendro Archon.
He tried to fix it, but
because we know the Dendro Archon's a kid. Well, is kid-like in how she looks. And this other godly voice interrupting Venti, you know, another godly being, to cut him off and say, no, you figure shit out. No, that to me, it's like, okay, so they're probably someone of Archon-esque power, and now they're establishing a Mirage Archon. No, come on. It's one big tease for 3.0.
Technologically illiterate Fatui soldiers completely ruined the machine.
We're going to bump into the Dendro Archon in 3.0, and they're going to be like, hey, remember? We've met before.
Ejected and disappeared.
A testament to the importance of maintenance in all aspects of life. I believe we can all learn something from this.
Persakov may be a mad scientist, but he didn't want to see his subordinates suffer. Besides, if he didn't solve the problem, he would end up going insane as well. As a last resort, Persakov went out on his own to look for the cores. But he was just a sickly researcher, unfit for the task. He had to give up. Then, Persakov went searching for the soldiers who had gone mad and strayed from the group, and took them to a hidden cave.
I think that was where they were at the day we arrived on this island. Persakov was taking a strong Fatui soldier somewhere.
Yes. Took Persakov all of his strength to get all the missing soldiers into the cave.
And that's why we've had stray Fatui, all of this. Like here, there, and everywhere. They don't really know what they're doing.
But nothing worked.
We came here once, but there was no one around. Come to think of it, that must have been the day Persakov was busy gathering the soldiers into the cave.
There's good news and bad news written on the last few pages. The good news is, Persakov managed to figure out the location of the crystalline cores by piecing together the snippets of information he could get from the delirious soldiers. The bad news is Persakov failed to revive them and eventually succumbed to the device's influence himself. The last few pages of the manuscript are just unintelligible drunken scribbles.
It appears that the responsibility for this issue now falls to my retainers and I.
I thought we'd be saving the day on a vacation.
There's a map in the manuscript. The markings should indicate the locations of the crystalline cores.
Okay, that's simple enough. Oh. And there's puzzles with it too. Look, you see clockwise dot, counterclockwise, it's a line. So like in the top island, it's swivel once clockwise and then do it twice the other way. But then next to it, it's twice one way and then... Okay. I'll end up looking at this a few times, I imagine.
We've got no choice but to find the crystalline cores now!
Oh, we have to boat over there. Okay. I screenshotted it as well, because I gathered we'd going to need it for a puzzle. So if this creepy red sky kind of wants to go away, that'd be nice. What the fuck? And this one was dot dot line, so right right left.
This should be one of the crystalline cores mentioned in the manuscript.
Okay, the next one's in the central island. Let me check my map. Central Island has 3. There's one by the camp that is dot line. One surrounded by some rocks and whatnot near the cliff that is dot line dot. And it's a taller structure that is line line dot. So we need to go find dot line, which is near camp. That's the tall structure, so there's probably one nearest to that. Yeah, there's that. There's the stuff between everything. And then there should be one more over here. Ish. Unless that's the one that's with everything. And this is the camp one. Let me check the map again, hang on. Grind again. Hopefully not. There's six fucking acts in this, by the way, PK. We're in Act 6. We've done Mona's act. Which was about her not accepting, but reminiscing on the people who have despised her astrology in the past, because she tells the truth of her readings. She doesn't just give people what they want, and so that truth can sometimes be very cruel and brutal. Like, if you keep adventuring, you will die soon, kind of readings. And she's just learning her like proving to the others why she does it and why she is the way she is, and also had the most complicated puzzles. Or if there was you had to reconnect lasers to make star constellation patterns, and they wouldn't tell you which way was north, kind of thing. So you had to actually look at all these devices scattered around everywhere and figure out where to put them and where to spin them to make it work. So it actually took a while. But now we're solving these. We're working out dot and line graphs. Dot by a tent with a spike on it. Okay, where's the tent with a spike on it? This one. So this one is dot line, right? So right, left. The one in the camp is dot line dot, and the last one is line line dot. So dot line dot. Okay, so this one is dot, line, dot.
Take it easy.
And then the last one is by a tool structure, so over here. And this one was... I've already forgotten. I know you can't see the map, because I took a screenshot of it. There is a screenshot, and they've got little drawings on them with lines and dots underneath it. And the dots mean right, the lines mean left. In fact, actually, I have it in the book. This is what I'm looking at in my screenshots, just so you know. But I just took a screenshot of it to do it because it was quicker. So you can see what I mean with like the dots and lines. So I was aware when I was first describing it, I was looking at it in my screenshot so you couldn't see it on stream. So tool structure is line, line, dot. So left, left, right. Some of puzzles for you, I think. Mona, you mean, with 1-0. But yeah, these are just the Act 6 puzzles. What we're doing is we're going around the last locations, clearing out these devices, because this machine that's here is what's causing everything. It's making weak-minded people go delirious and insane, and strong-minded people create mirages of the kingdom they want. So the reason why Fischl had her mirage, why Mona's was down here, why Kazuha had this, why Xingyang had hers over here, is because they're strong-willed people, so didn't go insane from the influence of the machine. And we're now trying to figure out how the machine works, because Paimon's first plan of just break it was very quickly challenged by Fischl, going, that's the worst thing you could do. And Fischl's almost entirely dropped the Chuni routine now. She's talking normally because she's around people she trusts, so she doesn't need to act around them anymore. She's been talking pretty normally for them since I started streaming today. And I'll check again what I need to look for when we get to this one. And I did go hunt down another conch shell. There was one in Xingyang's domain. There was an extra area you could access in her domain. Because all of these, the Misty Hills, you know, the Mona's thing here, all of them allow you to freely access those story domains that we did. And it will tell you what's missing, how many chests you missed, and how many conch shells. And I was missing one shell in Xingyang. I'm missing one in Mona's, and that scares me. Because that was such a maze length. How many characters are getting their minds in past explored in this event? We've seen all of them, I believe. It's the 4 that came with us: Kazuha, Xingyang, Fischl, and Mona. Like, that will do Traveller, because Traveller comes from another world. And so it's why Mona's always more curious about the Traveller, because the Traveller comes from another world, so she can't see the fate. She can't see her fate. Okay, let me check my screenshot. What is this one? How many devices are we looking for? We're looking for 2. One of them is north of the boat near a log, and one of them is south of it on a rock. The one near the log is dash dash dot, so left left right.
I got a new letter from an informant.
So there's the boat. So north of the boat there is a log. Is there a log in it? Yeah, there is. Okay. So dash dash dot, and the other one with my amazing short-term memory is dot dash dot. So right left right. Nice. Gimme. And now we should be able to get back to that machine and kill the thing. Or deactivate it sensibly. This thing.
Take it easy.
And because I got the 16th conch, I can quickly show you now you're here. Party setup. I have Fischl's alternate costume now, in all of her glory, with the red eyes and the whiter, more actual princessin look to her. And the thing is, and this is what Mona looks like normal. The costume, maybe a boss. We'll find out when we get back to there. This is what Mona looked like up until the censorship kicked in. Up until they had to censor the costume, and we got the look of Mona that we now see. This one. So this is how it used to be. It used to be a little bit more tight, shall we say, in places. Whilst now she's more clothed. It's the same for a few characters. No one got hit as badly as Rosaria in that censorship. Rosaria was fucking brutalized, the poor girl. This is old Rosaria. This is new Rosaria. Old? New. They gave her clothes. And in the Chinese version, they also... Actually, I think you can see it in this costume. They reduced her bust size as well. You can... Oh, you can't really see it. In the Chinese version, it's more so, but they reduced her bust size as well for Rosaria. Rosaria got hit the hardest with the censorship. The other two are Amber, which is like the most pointless, because I already thought she was already really tame. They just kind of fixed up everything and made her shirt go slightly higher, so less of her cleavage was showing, and that's about it. And Jean was the last one, who I have in the summertime outfit anyway, but they changed her from this to this to make her look a bit more fancy. Yeah, if...
With the seed...
in the English versions, you can pick whichever one you want. It's just because of Chinese censorship, these new ones existed, and in the Chinese version, this is their only option. They don't have access to these ones anymore. And it's why in cutscenes, all the cutscenes are rendered using the censored designs now for those four. There are still some characters that we are, in the nicest possible way, gobsmacked haven't been censored yet. There are some characters, and you look at them, and it's like, how? It's like, you know, like there's some characters. Let me bring up the character archive. Like, if I go through it... Firstly, that man should be censored because he is too sexy for his own good. Lisa, people thought they would change. Beto, they thought they would change, but they haven't. There are a couple in here. I know they're around here that people thought would get changed, and some didn't. Garnu, they thought might, because her clothing is skin tight. So you can literally see the outlines of everything on her. But they didn't somehow. Yanfei, because she's a fucking lawyer and she's just wearing like a small shirt and skirt and whatnot. Yoimiya, they thought they'd censor. He was wanting to join me. Nah, you're good. Aloy, the crossover character. Shenhe as well. Shenhe, they technically did. They technically did censor her slightly. It's just, it wasn't present. In her original art for her character, you could see her belly button. As early as the very first beta round of her, that was censored out. But that was like literally right at the start, so there was no we never saw a model of the belly button, we only ever saw art. And everyone else is just everyone else. But yeah, and they're the four they targeted for the censor, which is baffling to me, because I thought, like, outside of Rosaria, everyone else was pretty damn tame. Yeah, like, you could see, like, there was a joke around the community. Yeah, there was a joke around the community that if you were a Mona main, you only got her for her ass. And maybe that was what inspired her inspired them to pick, like, the Chinese government to pick her, because, look, keep in mind, her old design, when you're running around, this is all you can see, you know? Don't be a creep, PK. But no, it's only in the original artwork. When they originally revealed her, you could see her belly button, and that was it. Like, she still had, like, the clothes over it. It was just the clothing was slightly more transparent, whilst now it's not. That's it. But then now this is also now Mona's newer design. They've changed it.
That's what the manuscript says, anyway.
And I get it. Like, I don't agree with censorship as a policy. I feel like if the creator of their own choice censors the work, that's their choice, it's their vision of the art they have chosen to change, that's fine. It's when a third party says this needs to change, or a ratings board says it, that's when I'm like, you're compromising the intention of the art. You know, like, I don't care if it's sexy or any of that shit, that doesn't bother me. That was the artist's intention, that was the designer's intention, and now you're forcing them to compromise on it. You're compromising the vision. That's when I have problem with censorship. It's why I get on Sony's case all the time, because some of the shit they've done for censorship over the years, they're a little, slightly more laid back nowadays, because there was a shit ton of complainers that got it, and there was one game that nearly took them to court over it, and so after that they kind of started to neuter it slightly about the whole situation. But Sony in their worst, Dragonstar Vanir infuriated me, because there's a scene where you see a character's thigh, because they're leaning over a witch's broom in Dragonstar. They're leaning on a witch's broom, and you could see a bit of her thigh, and Sony censored it by making it that the camera had to be more zoomed in on the PlayStation version, so you couldn't see her thigh. And so you can't even see that she's on the broom introducing the idea of fucking witches. Are you insane, Sony? Like that was such a kicker when I played through Dragonstar, because I love Dragonstar. That game is riddled with problems, but I love it anyway. But it's still like, that was such a pointless fucking censorship. Like, is thighs not allowed? Are women not allowed to have thighs anymore, Sony? What the fuck's going on here? You know? Ugh. And the thing is, it's the crazy thing, because with Mona, they got rid of the, like, you know, the butts being on full display, and they replaced it with absolute territory. The censorship version gives it so you can only see a glimmer of her thigh. They somehow made it more darker. Yeah, I'm thinking it. Well, I wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. It was just such a weird fucking censorship. It's not the worst I've seen. And, like, some of it, I kind of get it. Like, Mary Skelter 1 is on PlayStation hardware, and Mary Skelter 3 is, but 2 is not. And it's because they have a mini-game in the first two, where because characters could get covered in blood, and the more blood they're covered in they get, the more insane they start to go. There was a mini game where you would hose them down, and it was extremely suggestive, because they were just in their bikinis and covered in you know, in like blood, and you'd be washing them down with the hose, and you had to clean them from top to toe. Especially on the Vita, they made you use the touchscreen, and you had to use your finger and, like, rub their bodies with it. It was fucking weird. Which is a shame, because Mary Scott was great, and it's like, you show anyone that, and they go, that's why you like it. You're like, no, they're great games, I promise. But by the time the second game came around, Sony's censorship got a lot stricter, and so they just straight up said, either get rid of it or don't release it on our platform. And Idea Factory went, no, it's a core mechanic, we physically can't, so the game didn't get released. And in Final, they got rid of it entirely. They recoded around it, so they didn't have to worry about it. There's still suggestive as fuck shit in Mary Skelter Final, but they got rid of that stuff. I think it was a manga or something. Yeah, it was a free book. It's a light novel. It's an actual, like, book series. I have all three of them. They're young adult novels, the Mary Skelters. I literally have all three books on my shelf. If you buy the collector's edition of Final, they give you all the books with the collector's edition, which I thought was dope. But I have all three of the Mary Skelter books in my collection, and they're good reads, to be fair. The only problem is that some threads of the games, the game isn't based off the books. They're in the same universe as the books, but they're not the same story. You're following different characters in the games. It's just some things in the world they expect you to already know from the books. And so you get to a point and it's like, oh, this character's been doing this other thing off screen. And you're like, who are you talking about? And then you realize, no, they're talking about one of the books. And it's like... Mary Skelter's a hard franchise to get into, to be fair. They're great games, but they're hard to get into. Especially Final. If you start with Final, Final expects you to have read all three books and played the first two games, because it explains fucking nothing to you. It just throws you into the deep end to what is also the hardest game in the trilogy. By far, it is excessively brutal, and you just have to live with it. You have to just figure it out as you go. That being said, I'd love to live stream them at some point, just not yet, because they would be very grindy, and I'm not up for that yet.
Let's give it some time. Hopefully it'll return to normal.
Everyone sits around the campfire, chatting and cooking barbecue. Once the machine is fixed, the situation seems to improve. Soon you hear footsteps approaching. Oh, it's going to be all the Fatui that lost their minds and got lost.
Someone's in a camp.
Who wants to fucking join? No! I should have put it on auto-reject. I mean, we're not in the co-op mode, I guess. All last stream, the story were turned off co-op, so I didn't think about it.
Hey, who are you people?
But if it's hard to get into, then would it also be fun when understood? Yeah, there's a lot of characters and a lot of story and a lot of lore, But if you can understand what's going on, seeing the girls of the game find their way forward, find their footing, and overcome these insane fucking odds is really satisfying, because you understand what's going on for them to get there. Like, one of the characters, Red, for example, finding out that, like, despite the fact that she's an extremely wholesome being and a great team leader that does everything she can to try and support everyone, she has, her entire life is riddled with traitors. Literally, her own fucking father was using her as a tool to advance research and prepared to let her die. So the fact that she's so optimistic anyway and so positive fighting, it's inspiring, and it makes her a lovely character because she's so positive and forward-thinking anyway, despite the hell she's gone through. And she has an interesting character quirk with Red, where she will genuinely, the only reason she keeps it all together is because there's pressure on her head. She's actually, like, I mean, it's an interesting condition she has with her mental health, where if there's pressure on her head, whether it be a hood or a hat, she's perfectly fine. If that comes off her head, however, she starts having an anxiety episodes. She starts having panic attacks, so she can't keep herself together. And so so when she overcomes the physical odds and actually, like, overcomes the challenge, you feel for her more. 'Cause it's like, yes, she managed to find all it, despite literal both, like, her past holding her back with how many people have let her down and betrayed her, and her own body letting her down with how her brain acts. And yet she found a way through. You know, and that's just one of literally like 17 protagonists across the franchise. And all of them are like that. All of them have their own quirks. There's a canonical gay relationship in Mary Skelton. It's one of the cutest fucking things in the world. Because it's these two women that are married who refer to each other as prince and princess. And it's the cutest fucking thing to ever see those two on screen. That they refer to, they don't say, "Oh, you're right, prince." They go, "How are you doing, my prince?" Or and it's like, "Oh, I've just got this for you, my princess." Like, they call each, like, their love for each other is so pure and sweet, and they're like a married gay couple, and it's like, ah, it's like, they're so sweet. I love those two. Or like Mary herself, which, full disclaimer, despite the series being called Mary Skelter, isn't introduced until the final fucking book, and so to respect that, isn't shown up, isn't revealed until the final game. Mary herself, her life is tied to a box of matches. If all of the matches in that box burn out, she dies. The problem is, the only thing that keeps her calm, well, there's only two things that keep her calm, is her best friend and the fire that those matches make. Because they make a very unique light. They're not just standard fires when they're lit. They have like glimmers of pink and blue, and they show images within the fire that she recognizes from her childhood. So the only things that keep her calm are either be with her best friend or literally burn her life resource. And of course her friend isn't around all the time. And so there are points in the game and in the book where you can literally catch her. She's just found a corner to herself, crouched down in it, and just lit a match. She's lit one of her lifeline matches and is just staring into it because it's calming her down. Even though she's put herself one match closer to death. Because once she lights the last match, that's it, she's done. And yet she will just do it without thinking too much because she needs to calm down. So there's another element. So like when she overcomes her odds and finds a way forward, there's more to it there because you want to care for her. So it takes her hard. I've had one once and thought my heart was going to hop out or something due to the fast beating. Yeah, I've never had a severe episode, but I've never had like a full on like anxiety attack sort of thing. I've had moments where I've been told that was a panic attack, but I didn't have too much, if that makes sense. I've been told by professionals what I had was reminiscent of, but it wasn't as severe. Like, I've had, like... It's another thing where I talked about last stream, where I said, in the grand scheme of things, even though I've gone through a lot, I count myself quite lucky, I haven't had, like, a full-fledged, like, breakdown in that sense. I've had a moment or two or something where I haven't questioned it, I haven't thought much of it and done it, but later on professionals have kind of looked at me and whatnot and been like, no, you should have stopped. that makes sense. Like, I've had glimmers of suggestion, but I've never had anything severe in terms of, like, you know, my mental health. All of my stuff is to do with like depressive episodes. I struggle with depression a lot more. I'm a lot better with it nowadays, especially when I've started streaming. Streaming genuinely brings the best out of me, I feel. I love streaming and it puts me in a great mood. It's very rare. It's the only time the depression side starts to kick in is when I have sleeping issues, because I get infrequent insomnia. There was a stream a couple months back that I should have had to cancel because I got so little sleep. I think I've said about it before, BK. Anyway,
Look at the machine. Is it fixed?
What?
But Mr. Persikov is still lying on the ground over there.
We're the ones who fixed the machine. Yeah, you're welcome.
We could have had a nice, relaxing vacation if all of this hadn't ended up occupying so much of our time.
Yeah, look at the bright side, Mona. If it wasn't for all of this, you wouldn't have got to get to know each other better. I'm willing to bet that your relationship/friendship with Fischl from this point onwards is going to be a lot closer now you've both seen inside each other's hearts.
Apologize to me and my retainers at once.
Also, what I was saying earlier, Fischl's dropped the Chuny routine. She's talking normally now.
Uh-huh? Oh no, I'm out of here. Hey, don't leave me here on my own. Mr. Persikov's still there. We need to save him.
Those two definitely seem a little more lucid now.
It looks like we succeeded.
Yay! Let's get out of here then. Paimon wants to spend the rest of this vacation back at our own camp.
You mean Klee's camp?
Yeah, but it feels like our camp.
It feels like we've just stolen it from the kid.
Home.
Well, yeah, she's being fierce more because she needs to like make sure to scare off the Fatui, but she's not But she's not like doing the illustrious light of the stunning rays grants me the path forward to seize the future and all that shit. She's not doing any of that shit. She's being more like her normal self.
Then perhaps we should call it the Embassy of the Imanakreich and Dodoland.
That's a bit too long.
No, that's too many words. Paimon would prefer something easy to remember. Come on.
There was a point in my writing that I wanted to do a Chuny character, and about 5 words in, when I do not want to have to write with an open dictionary next to me all the time. Because that's basically what it would become. It's just every single word you have to bring up a dictionary and a thesaurus to find a unique word, and then go for thesaurus to find different meanings and uses for it to make sure it works. I was like, that just sounds like way too much work. But yeah, Fischl's a lot less Chuny now. And to be fair, I welcome it. I'd rather her be her normal self, because it means that she's accepting, that depressive side of her life more.
After coming home to a nice
She's accepting Amy as a part of her, while still being Fischl.
Paimon's finally starting to feel relaxed.
Is the hospitality of the Imanakreich to thy liking?
See, even that, it's not anywhere near as Chuny.
Paimon's loving it.
Wonderful.
There's still glimmers of it, because she still doesn't want to be Amy. She still wants to be Fischl, and that's okay. That's her choice. She wants to be known only as Fischl. Amy is just the person of her past, the life she abandoned. But she's now more accepting that is still a part of her, even though she doesn't she doesn't connect with it anymore.
Great. Well, I've come to the right place. I love it here.
May this place become an eternal paradise.
Mein Fräulein says she hopes to go on more adventures with you here in the future.
I hope so too. I love this gang. They picked the perfect ensemble of randoms for this fucking quest. Like Mona and Fischl and their like buddy friendship. Because that was the thing in Mona's in Mona's Mirage. One of the things we learned. And now sounds like a hybrid of Amy and Fischl. Yeah, Amy and Fishy. That's cute. In Mona's, one of the things we learned is that there was a point where Mona couldn't pay rent, and so Fischl, instead of helping her out to pay it off, Fischl brought Mona to her parents' house, and they had a meal together. So it's like we learned through Mona's domain. They're like, Fischl and Mona are pretty tight now. They're pretty good friends. That Fischl helped him out by saying, no, I'll make food. Come to me to my parents' place. Yeah, it led to annoyance when we learned that the reason why Mona was flat broke was because she spent it on an expensive book. She's a habit, and Mona is a habit spender. If she spots something she likes, she just gets it without thinking of the consequences. So when it came to paying rent and making sure she's on top of her bills and even feeding herself to a certain extent, she was finding herself short on money.
Of course.
So Fischl and Mona are really tight friends, which is really cute. Because I said back in 1.1, back in November 2020, that was when they first met, and they were very indifferent to one another. So the fact that they've come this far in the near 2 years since then is really charming. That they've got this close, that they know each other that well. But then adding the ensemble, Xing Yang, it's always lovely to see her because she doesn't have her own story quest, nor does she have her own hangout quest. So the only time we ever see her is limited time events, painfully. So to get to see Xingyang again was really appreciated. And Kazuha, this feels like the story quest he should have fucking got. His story quest, like his actual story quest we got in this update, I thought was very weak sauce. I thought it was very like, okay, we just stand around talking a bunch, dealt with a cursed sword, and then it wrapped itself up. Whilst now, we got to see more of his origin. We got to learn of his grandfather and his father. We got to learn about why he is the way he is. Why the Kadehara clan collapsed. Like, we learned so much about him. This whole event is amazing.
Oh, also, my friend runs the best restaurant in Liyue. I'm sure you'll love it.
Xiangling.
If you're into opera, you should go see Yunjin.
Her other closest friend.
She's the nicest person, and she likes making friends with new and
Yunjin is
people.
brilliant. Yunjin is really sweet as well. I hope Yunjin shows up in a proper event later down the road.
Shared passion for theatrics.
Oh? If Lady Xinyan speaks so highly of it, then I must entertain the idea.
See, she's not... you bring it up. There's still a little bit of it. She's still a little bit more elegant in how she words herself. But she's not singing and dancing around one word for like 10 minutes.
Traveler, I have a suggestion.
Like, it's a middle ground more.
There's a snack called roasted lavender melon in Inazuma, which goes rather well with fish. Why don't we roast some fruit and seafood for dinner tonight?
That sounds brilliant.
Did you try it in Inazuma?
A few Inazuman friends made some for me. Yeah, I think that was Toma that made it.
That's great.
You know, it'll be good when a Texan woman says something's tasty.
I want to follow your example and travel around the world.
I love the voice they gave Xingyang. I genuinely do. When it came out, people were kind of like, why did they give her that voice when she's supposed to be from Liyue, you know, China? But they point out, it's like, no, her entire character story is that she's an outcast in every single sense of the word, and she always does things her way. And it's implied, I don't know Chinese accents, so I don't know it for myself to listen to it to be able to pick it up, but apparently in the Chinese version, you know, the origin, there is an accentual difference and a wording difference in how she speaks. So it makes sense that they would do an accentual difference in the Western version, because how would you translate a Chinese accent difference when it comes to the West? Oh, I know, do a different Western accent, you know? So it makes sense. I think it works. Knowing you, that shouldn't be a problem.
That means a lot coming from you.
Ah, you're all here.
It's the same with Mona's accent. I love the elegance in Mona's accent. Makes me interested how she sounds in other versions.
I've noticed an issue. Although we've fixed the machine, as you can see, the mirages on the islands have still not disappeared.
AKA, you can now freely explore them at your leisure.
I've noticed that too. But considering...
Oh, right, and this is their plot... Yeah, this is their plot justification. Well, since they're so big, they might take a while, wink wink, till the end of this update, before you can get... before they go. Because yes, I said painfully, I must reinstate it. When 3.0 comes out in August, the day 3.0 drops is the day this island vanishes again for another year. So this is why I said it's a timed quest, because this quest will vanish with it. The island will completely cease. You won't be able to access it anymore until presumably the next summer, for presumably another year.
Yes, that's definitely possible.
And it's like it baffled us all in 1.6, and it's still baffling now why this isn't permanent content that just stays on the map, and why they made it time limited to just the summer. These islands.
In other news, my scryglass seems to be working fine now. The divination results are also looking about right. Although there are some parts in the results that I don't quite understand. It's as if there is some sort of power surrounding us, and it's still watching us.
I wonder if that's the voice over the Dodo phone. The one that I'm theorizing is the Dendro Archon.
Do you think it's caused by the machine? Or perhaps Persikov?
Money exclusivity? Well, it's not like you have to buy the content or something like that, or like there's certain things you can only buy within it or anything like that. It's just for this update for the summer, the islands are only available now. I said, yeah, like the whole if you miss the event you have to buy Fischl's costume, I guess, but that's the same with all the other events that have costumes in it. Every time they introduce new costumes, they have one that can be got for free in a timed event and one that's paid for regardless. And if you miss the timed event, then that one that was free becomes paid for, and it's like 15 to 20 bucks. So that's no different than normal. I think it's just a thing with the islands.
Sorry.
They don't have anywhere to put it on the map right now. They don't, because you know they still want to expand more of the map in other directions.
whatever it is, it doesn't seem to harbor any ill will toward us.
My hope is that one of these years, Mondstadt would have expanded enough that there'll be room for them to fit it in. Because I think this will be not too far away from the Dandelion Sea, or the Black Sea. So like, I'm thinking like northwest-ish of the mainland. That reminds me, there's one answered question to these islands, but the group is unaware. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, although there's nothing left to disturb us, and we can finally kick back and enjoy our vacation, we still ought to be cautious while we're on these islands. I will keep seeing what the stars say every day.
I promised Fischl that I'd be her guard. I can help.
Good. I'll be counting on you. Goodness knows why those girls are so carefree about everything. I suppose it falls to me to be extra vigilant.
Paimon, come with me.
Oh, coming.
Let's go over here. Check the Dodo phone so you can get in contact with Venti or the Dendro Archon.
So we're gonna call the Tone Deaf Bard, right?
Well, try to.
Well, hello there, strangers. You finally called. I thought you were having so much fun that you'd completely forgotten about me.
Nope. Oh, Tone Deaf Bard, a whole bunch of really strange things happened.
Blah 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 blah. Which region do you like the most in terms of beauty, story, and adventure? Fuck. Of the three we have available, that's a very difficult question. Because I liked all three of them for different reasons. Mondstadt I love because it's the perfect introduction country. There's a lot to explore, but it's not too much. It's big, but not too big. There's open fields, there's mountains, but not too many. There's one big city that feels very homely and inviting. Everything's close together, so if you need to reach something, you can. It's more forests and fields, you know, like it's got a very homely and inviting and almost nostalgic feel to it. But it doesn't change the fact that the story there is kind of done in a heartbeat. You kind of race through the whole thing when you're not adventuring. And there's a lot of loose threads with the characters. Lisa has cut her life down because of her advanced magic. Like, she's not going to live to, like, past her 30s sort of thing. Kaya comes from a kingdom that doesn't exist anymore. He comes from Khaenri'ah, and Khaenri'ah was blown to smithereens over 500 years ago, so he's a descendant from them. So there's mystery surrounding him. Amber saved Kalae's life from one of the Harbingers, and we're going to meet Kalae in 3.0. We've got to finally meet her in person. You know, there's a lot of mysteries in and about the Mondstadt as a whole that have been left untouched. Like, why is D-Luke basically Batman? He goes around in the night all dressed up, beating up bad guys. He's a rich tycoon. He's literally Batman. He's literally Genshin's Batman, yeah. And, like, what about Alice and Varka? Alice is a terrifying human fucking being. She's been to all corners of the world, and she was the one who first built all the structures you see on these islands. All the mysteries and everything to do with this island. Back in 1.6, Alice made them solely to entertain her daughter, Klee. And Alice is presumed to be hundreds of years old because she's from, like, a more elven race. And what about Varka? Grandmaster Varka of Mondstadt. You know, he's gone off on a big expedition, and we still have yet to see him, which is why Jean is in his place as acting Grandmaster. But then you go to Liyue, and Liyue, the culture is so well embraced. Like, yeah, Alice is a mother, Alice is a mother. This elf that travels the world, abandoned Klee basically and left Klee at home. Klee's her daughter, and we still haven't seen Alice.
So, judging from
but Liyue has got so much cultural history and cultural referencing and cultural embracing that it's one of the most, like, beautiful locations to feel, if that makes sense. Like, you go for it, you do a story quest, like you do Yunjin and you learn about traditional Chinese opera, you do Zhongli and you learn about the differences of trade and the nature of contracts and businesses. Like, you learn about how the banks work, you learn about, like, it's so culturally focused, which makes sense because it's a Chinese company, so of course the Chinese company are going to take the Chinese themed country and treat it as a chance to show off the best of their land, like the best of what it is. But Inazuma has the most beautiful aesthetic, with it being Japanese influence. You've got samurai-themed battlegrounds. You've got beautiful forests with pink leaves. You've got a water city that's like Magic Atlantis. You've got a ginormous thunderbird that crashed into an island, died, and its remnants made a never-ending thunderstorm. You know, you've got all this fucking insane shit that's like, it's so visually stunning. Like, it's hard for me to pick one when Mondstadt is so effective at what it does with its mysteries and being a good introduction. Liyue is so culturally amazing, and Inazuma is so beautiful visually and has some crazy characters. But yeah, Alice is a mum, and I hope one day we'll get to see her.
Alas, I am but a humble
Because I take one look at Klee, and I'm like, what would an adult Klee look like? And it's like, that excites me. That on the day, I'm like, damn, it's an adult kind of look at Klee, and you look at what an adult version of that would be. I'm like, I'm just expecting like a full-on like fire witch, like with the big hat and everything. Like, think Nine the Phantom from Blaze Blue, but with more red in her clothes. That's what I think she'll look like, or kinda. And I'm like, that to me is like super cool. Like, I'd want that character.
So annoying.
But other than that, did you two have fun?
We did! We ate a lot of yummy food and saw loads of amazing things! It was really cool!
It was a great experience.
That's good. The point of traveling is to record any feelings stirred along the way. As long as you had an unforgettable experience, this journey has served its purpose. As for the mysterious voice, although we don't know who it was, not only did she not harm you, she also helped you to gain a better understanding of each other, right? If you look at it that way, maybe she meant you well. I mean, if she was able to intercept Alice's communication tool, I'm sure she's also plenty capable of attacking you.
Yeah, hint, hint, it's someone of godly-like power. If they could not only interrupt Alice's work, but also, you know, cut off Venti, another god's communication to us. Which is why I think it was a very sly tease at 3.0, and we're going to meet that voice in 3.0, and it's going to turn out to be the Dendro Archon.
Tone-deaf Bard is right.
I understand.
I'm glad to bring you some peace of mind. Just enjoy your vacation to the fullest. And don't forget to tell me all about the marvelous mirages when you get back. I want to record all these beautiful memories and turn them into ballads. Every summer will become an unforgettable song.
It's a deal.
Then I'll just wait for your return. Happy vacationing.
If Tone-deaf Bard thinks it's okay, then maybe there's nothing to worry about. After all, Tone-deaf Bard is still a god. We should probably trust him.
Meh, maybe.
Let's head back. We don't want to keep everyone waiting. Hold on. Did officials say earlier that she's going to catch some crabs? Oh, Paimon wants to go
Yeah. Maybe I should go in smooth.
Now you have solved the mystery. Doesn't it make you feel happy?
And now she's talking into our head? Yeah, this is absolutely the Dendro Archon. That voice!
Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I'm just a little bird that sometimes flies by these islands, and am now watching you from far, far away. I just
Yeah, she's watching us from Sumeru, I bet.
Has something to do with me. I was curious, so I landed on the beach to quietly watch everything that took place on these islands. It was fascinating. The ones who came here to work were so busy, and yet I still saw genuine smiles on their faces from time to time.
What happened to Official there? She got a bit embarrassed at the end.
Bringing your glorious
I know that's just her idol
dreams
pose, but
and
still.
wonderful willpower. Your dreams are like the pure and delicate bubbles floating on the water. The more beautiful the illusion, the more it fascinates me. I'm not able to travel myself, but I do admire free spirits like yourself. So, I helped them design a little something for you all. I hope you liked it.
Who are you?
As I said, I don't have an agenda. I'm just a little bird. I stopped here to admire your lives, joys, sorrows, and all. You are a special person with a unique and brilliant glow. I decided to communicate with you in this way because I'm really curious about you. There's no need to wonder about my name. Maybe one day in the future, we will meet in another place. When that time comes, I think you'll be able to recognize me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely the Dendro Archon. It has to be. We're gonna go to 3.0, finally get back, find out what's going on, what shenanigans involving the Fatui and Goddard's going on over there. Then we're gonna bump into her. She's gonna go, hi! And we're gonna go, hang on a minute! Voice is faded. She's directly speaking into my mind.
Hey, what are you doing? The crabs don't catch themselves!
What does she mean? Dendro. Meet in another place. That was the icon for Dendro. It is. I fucking. That's the confirmation as far as I'm concerned. That's the Dendro tease. That's the Sumeru 3.0 tease. Act 6 complete. And that's entirely it. Damn. Oh, I was looking around because sometimes in 1.6, when you finished 1.6, some of the characters were still kind of standing around, so you could talk to them to kind of get like closing thoughts. But they don't seem to be here this time, unfortunately. Unless they might be like nearest to their own domains. Like Mona might be over there, Kazuha might be over there, Fischl may be over there, and Xingyang, I think that is over there. It's kind of cool that you can see all of their mirages from here, actually. Yeah, I think that is the event done. Yeah, that's everything. Oh yeah, this was the light puzzle where you like that I was talking about, where you hit the thing and it makes a laser, and you had to make star constellations. Man, so if I tried to do this all in one, this was another 2 hours. I would have done a 9, potentially close to 10-hour fucking stream just to do this all. And because I know why it's this big, it's because they, you know, you can see it in the top right, 34 days till it's over. They expect you to do it over the course of 2.8. They don't expect you to do it all at once. You have the entire 6-week update to do it, so yeah. But I got this costume. I missed Mona's song, and I missed 3 general conches. Right, let's see. How many Prima Gems did I actually get in the end? Enough for 10 rolls. 1,646. That's enough for 10 rolls. A full free 10 roll. Literally. Nice. So that's you get a free 4-star effectively for doing this event, and maybe if you're lucky a 5-star. But yeah, before we wrap up, it's unfortunately a little too late in the day. I was gonna if this went by super quick, I was just gonna transition to Castlevania, but I think we've got another like 3 or so hours left of Circle of the Moon, like 2 to 3 hours. So I'm not gonna do that. I am just going to. What was I looking for? I can't for the life of me remember what I was going to look for. I was going to show off Klee to show you what I mean of like... There she is. This is Klee, right? This is Alice's daughter.
Totoko, where are you?
So I was thinking, like, okay, what would an adult version of this kind of look like? You know? And my vision is like, I replaced the hat with... Replaced the little beanie she has with like a proper witch's hat. And she'd kind of look like a big fire mage kind of thing. And the reason why I'm so interested in Alice is because of the Teyvat travel guide. Nope. This. Because it's written by Alice, and all of it's kind of like... Some of the things that go into her mind are kind of crazy. Let me read the Darpata Gorge. The 3 Hilichurl tribes located in this valley are all densely populated. What if we built a huge spinning ball-shaped cell in the center of the valley and threw all of the Hilichurls into it? That way, we might be able to generate enough energy to power all the meals in Mondstadt for at least 5 years. If we took it one step further by grinding the Hilichurls that are too old or too weak into food and feeding them to the strong ones, we might just build ourselves a perpetual motion machine that can support a huge factory like in Snezhnaya. It seems totally feasible to me, but when I told Miss Lisa about the idea, she just looked at me and pondered in silence for a long time, then changed the subject gracefully. That's Alice. Alice was like, we should just turn these things into slaves and make them eat their own kin to make a general machine. It would be an effective way of producing power. And then Lisa heard it and kind of went, moving on. But that's Alice. It's like, I want to meet that person. I want to know what goes on in her mind on a day-to-day basis if that's what she's like. You know? But I am going to count that as the end of 2.8 for my interest. Off screen, I am going to try and 100% and get all these stuff and see what extras I can find. And so I never activated that thing, for example. And like need to clear out all these and see what extra treasures and loot I can get across these islands. But in terms of what will be done on stream, I doubt there's going to be anything else this side of 3.0 I'm going to be interested in. So the next time we come back to Genshin will be the big one. It will be when they add all of this space over here, which is going to be Dendro, and I'm not even kidding. Alice, oh no, okay, no, yeah, you're thinking different. Amber, you're thinking of... Where the fuck's... I've got too many characters, where the fuck... Hang on. Yeah, no, this is Amber, that's different. Then that's all. Yeah, if... According to... On the beta... Anyway... On the beta, it's like this big going out, like about here-ish, I'll say. Like, it's huge. It's literally like the size of Leeway. The 3.1 leaks, however, scare me. It's kind of overwhelming. The 3.1 leaks, I kid you not, like I said, I've been going out like this. 3.1 does this. And then goes here, and then goes all the way fucking down to like here-ish, and then starts cutting off back up. 3.1 is going to add the whole desert tied to Sumeru, and because the desert is supposed to be like the largest chunk of the land in the map, they made it the largest chunk of the land in the map in-game. You know, because in lore it's supposed to be the biggest chunk of land, they made it so. But what I was talking about is, to the surprise of many, Liyue and Mondstadt, neither of them are technically finished. There's more of Liyue straight south here, curving off around here-ish. It actually gets closer to Inazuma than we realise. Like, there's more of it here that we haven't gained access to yet. And Mondstadt, it actually continues north. You can kind of see the outlines of rocks here that are off limits. All of this, like, stretching out about here, according to the lore, is more stuff. Which is why I think eventually they'll expand this out enough and they'll just put the Golden Island Archipelago, like, over here sort of thing. So I think it's time for now, because they've got nowhere to put it, but eventually they'll expand Mondstadt out enough that they will, and they will put it over here because it will be able to slot in somewhere. And then all of those limited time events, hopefully, won't become limited time events, and you can access them freely. I doubt it, because no other timed event has been re-accessible later on, but it would be nice to be able to get something, because not only do I think this is the best event in the game, it's one of the better story-based quests we've done in the game. I was so invested in all the characters, I was so interested in their stories, especially Fischl and Mona, and you got to see those two actually have a genuine friendship between the two, a lot more fleshed out than before. Like, I love that Kazuha finally got a story quest, because his actual story quest was kind of like, you know, like weak sauce, and the fact that Xinyan got so much screen time and we got to see more of her, and all of these areas were really fun to explore and do different things in and get the different voices and whatnot. This was super dope. This was like super on point. I loved it. And we got to go inside Mona's house instead of just getting stopped at the door. Oil in the desert.
Take it easy.
I don't think there's an American, as far as I'm aware, there isn't going to be an American themed country in the game. I'll say maybe Natlan, because Natlan's the only one that we really don't have a clue what that's themed on. But I doubt there's going to be America, because the teaser for Natlan involves a volcano. And so I think it would be a bit crazy if that suddenly turned out to be that. No, we still can't. In Mona's Heartscape, we can go into her house. Not Heartscape, I'm talking Blue Reflection. In her Mirage, sorry, we go into her house and you get to see it. But speaking of Blue Reflection, that should be on Saturday. We'll continue that because we're not too far from the end. So tomorrow should be Danganronpa S, because that comes out tomorrow. Friday is going to be finishing up Castlevania Circle of the Moon, and then Saturday will be Blue Reflection, and then I'll take Sunday off. And I also need to think about what my schedule for next week's going to be, because as it stands, I still don't really have a clue. I doubt I'll jump straight into Harmony of Dissonance, the next Castlevania, if I finish Circle of the Moon, but I would want to do it sooner rather than later, just to then, the next time after that I come back to Vania, it's Aria of Sorrow. And I want to get all 3 of them done, not because I think there's going to be a new Vania anytime soon. It's just I wouldn't be surprised with how successful the Advanced Collection was last year, that a new Castlevania Collection something is coming this year. Maybe not straight away, depends how long it takes to make it, and it depends if they go for the PS2 or the DS games first, because both of them would have different hurdles. Like the PS2 games, you'd effectively have to remaster them, because of how dated their graphics are nowadays. Like if you just ported them up, they'd look really jank. And I think Curse of Darkness supports widescreen, but I don't think Lament does. So you'd have to like fix things like that. Whilst the DS collection is obviously, you know, you'd have to rework how the touchscreen works for some of them. They're not too involved, thank goodness. It's more like maps and mini games, so they could be easily reworked. Like, I mean, if Okami can work just fine on consoles without the Wii, you can do it just fine without it. Especially because Okami wasn't even on the Wii at first; it was on the PS2. Like if that can do it, there's got to be ways around it for the DS collection. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm more just talking at this point because there's nothing else to do, so I'm just kind of chatting away before I decide to wrap up properly. I do need to get everyone topped up on healing, though. And in fact, that's not even... This isn't technically the whole map, because here, Watatsumi Island, this little space of water is like a void that warps you into Enkanomiya. And you start here, and you can go around, and Enkanomiya is like the most beautiful location in the game. I always love showing this off. Like, anytime there's new people in chat and I'm playing Genshin, it's like, this area is stunning. There's a reason why I said Inazuma is like the most beautiful location, because this is jaw-droppingly beautiful, and I'm not even doing it justice because of, you know, YouTube rendering. But this, in 60 frames, are like... You can run this at 4K if you've got like the screen to support it. This is gorgeous. I can't, like, it's just like, come on. And you can just glide out and go explore it. And then, you know, the chasm, you have the surface of the chasm, which is all this, and then it goes underground, which is all this, starting from like here-ish. Which also has its own, you know, uniquenesses and sights and things that caught my eye. And also has some of my favourite music that aren't the boss themes. Some of the chasm's themes are amazing. It's a lot more dark and whatnot. If you ever go through Genshin and get to the chasm, the biggest thing reminds me of Elden Ring. Yeah, I called it the Dark Souls location for the whole update, because it was 2.4, which was like late January, early February. So it's literally like Elden Ring was super fresh, if not about to come out. I can't remember if it was out or not by the time 2.4 dropped, but it was super close to the mark, and so I just called it the Dark Souls location. But the big thing you'll learn with the chasm is, oh fuck, oh well, there goes that burst. That was a slip of the finger. Is, you go fucking miles underground, and I mean miles underground. This is the closest spot in the game by a country mile to the Abyss, because the Abyss is beneath into the game's world. It's kind of like layers of a sandwich, the way the world works. Like, the crust is what we see, this is the next layer, or the chasm, but then beneath us is the Abyss. And this is the closest to it, which is why there's like glimmers of purples here, there, and everywhere, because we're close to the Abyss. We're close to basically Genshin Hell. And it's like the proof of it is like, what of how much I mean dropped, that this is like much higher up. This is one of the dissension points much higher up in the chasm. I'll make this like the last thing I do before I wrap up, because it's thankfully much cooler today, so I don't mind wrapping up. So I can actually, you know, go out and maybe enjoy the weather a little bit, because it's dropped by about 12 degrees. We had a thunderstorm last night, and it broke the heat, thankfully. But this is just, you know, a part of the chasm. We're already, like, I want to keep in mind, we're already about 7 or 8 miles underground when you get to this point. And look how much more you descend. And now under here is the upside down city, because this is, you know, starting to cross into the Abyss. And this isn't even the lowest point. This goes downhill. There's a drop here. This goes downhill. There's a drop like here-ish. And then it goes downhill even further and you get to here. You go super deep underground by the time you reach the bottom. I wish there was like... I wish the game tracks your like y-axis. Because you would be like minus several thousand by the time you get there. And I'm not even kidding. But that'll do, Donkey. That'll do. I'm not going to bother doing the dailies, because I think my dailies are in Inazuma. I'm on stream, so I can just do that later. I love this event. I love everything about it, and once again, it continues to show why, despite some of its problems inside and outside of the game's development, I love this game and still love everything to do with it. And I wish it the best, and I am super fucking excited for 3.0. Like, I mean, I am idiotically like stoked for 3.0. I'm expecting shit to kick off in the plot when it gets to that point. And I mean really kick off, because it's the midway point of the story. The entire game's lore is going to be the prologue in 6 chapters, and chapter 3 is, you know, if you get the 7 chapters, it's literally the middle chapter. I'm expecting shit to take off. I'm expecting things to unravel, and we've already kind of seen that in the teaser, that things are going to change, that things are going to start getting a bit darker. But that being said, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for Danganronpa, assuming everything works out fine, because I found it a bit worrying that they announced it, and we haven't seen or heard a single thing about it ever since, and it comes out tomorrow. And it's like, it's not even available to pre-order or anything, so it's like, if for some reason it's not available or I can't access it, we'll just do Castlevania. But I'll keep you updated on that when we get to that. There might just be like something, I don't know, something weird going on about it. But until then, you guys take